Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. Guys, who watches Ilokuzan, Real Housewives of Atlanta? You remember when back in the day when Candy was dating Todd and Mama just didn't like her. Well, she still doesn't like Candy's husband. And they were fighting, and then Candy's aunt was like, what if it's a scheme? I can't remember how she put it, but it was so funny. What if it's a scheme that Todd put together? You remember that scene? I feel like it's a scheme, this one. This one, that's why is putting together Todd's scheme. For some reason, I feel like, you guys, by the way, we're doing the review of episode 7 of the Bala Family reality show. This is a scam. I agree, you guys, that everybody wants to feel like they have a home, you know? They have a home to go back to. When you want to go home, you want a home also. When there's in the kaya, when the misebenzi events, you wanna have Christmases there, all of that. And also, you want a home where you don't need to ask somebody for permission to do it in the car, you know. And also, everybody wants a nice home, you know. And even though not all of us are going to be getting our parents a 2.6 million rand house, you know, but everybody wants a nice home. I agree with that. I get why they want a home. But here, you guys, it's starting to feel like Zoe wanted a house, but he's not going to stay in that house. He wants Pink to stay in that house, and he wants to raise the money to pay for this house through his siblings. But it looks like it's just going to be Zoe's house, that one. Now, with the whole presentation he was doing, I feel like he is basically wanting to say that the siblings are going to work, like they're going to be taking gigs as the Bala brothers, but the money will go to this entity. The entity will pay for the house. So the house is not really, the house is going to be belonging to the entity. I'm like, hi, well, guys, this is all. I was laughing because I was like, you know, these presentations that people will call you to and they pretend it's something else, and then you get there and you realize these are traders trying to scam you. One day I had visited my sister, and then her friend invites us, like it's a Sunday lunch thing, you know. She's like, you know, bring your sisters and whatever. They must dress smart in. We're having Sunday lunch, and then we're having a surprise. We get there, you guys, all dressed up. And I was in Joburg, not even having a formal outfit. I went there to Mr. Price to get a kind of formal dress pillar for the event. Must figure was trading, you know. Honestly, you guys, I'm a presentation album. They will pretend it's something else, but it's something else. It's, you know, they want to scam you, but they pretend it's something else. So even with Zwei here, you guys. Anyway, today, last night they went and reviewed the house in the episode. Anyway, they've done that long time ago, but in the episode they go to view the house. It's a beautiful house, you guys. It's by the beach. In fact, I was like, it should actually be more expensive. You know, I was like surprised. Well, 2.6 million, it's a lot of money. But for the house that is by the beach like that, I was like, oh, that's not bad, you know. But I just don't know if it's a kind of house that you would just buy for your mom, you know. So the house is nice. They viewed the house. It's a double story, many rooms. They didn't end up saying how many bedrooms and all of that, you guys. Pinky is excited. Zoe is excited. The mom is getting excited about the house now. I don't think that anybody, if you walk into that house and there was a possibility that that could belong to you, that you wouldn't be excited, because it's a really beautiful house. So everybody was there. Everybody thinks it's a nice house. Everybody would love for the mother to have the house, but some of the family members are having questions about certain things because there are still questions about how the house will be paid for. And it looks like Zwa is just pushing for everybody to pay for this house, but they want to do it their way. Now, Loiso's issue is that, yes, this is a beautiful house, but it's above the budget from what he was thinking, because remember, he even said that he doesn't own a house himself. He still wants to buy his family a house. So obviously, he's thinking, I can't pay a lot on this house because I still am going to buy my own house and also pay them. And also there are, in the house, there are things that they will have to fix and all of that when they buy the house. Also, it's a big house, and it's a house that you're just not going to put a furniture, okay, furnitures. Okay, it's not that kind of house, you know. It's not that kind of house. Okay, what's the checkers thing? House and home. Okay. I have house and home couches. That house is not a house and home couch kind of a situation. So it's a big ass house that is going to require like real, like nice furniture. So the budget for the furniture alone is going to be crazy. Okay. So I was like, because they can't put the furniture from the other house there. So there's a lot of cost that it will come with buying the house. Also, nobody has spoken about who's going to pay the rates, pay the water, pay the electricity. And the rates and prices like that, it's like paying for another bond. So nobody has discussed that. So they see the house, everybody likes the house. Even Jen was like, oh, nice. The ocean view, they even have a private beach kind of situation. I'm like, yeah. But in my mind, this is Zwai's house. Zwai just wants his house for himself. And Pink is so excited. So since the house is not finished, they decide to go to the restaurant just to sit now and talk. And Pinky is going on about how, yo, with this house, we have landed. Since we landed, towards the house. Who I was like, yo, yes, my family is nice. I was like, my family is nice. Because nobody's going to do something crazy like that. Nobody's just going to be taking us to view some house, and for some reason they're going to be assuming you're paying for that house because, hey, I get all sisters. It's like, yo, this house, it's like we are rich now. We have landed. I'm like, are you buying this house because your mother needs a house, or are you buying this house because you want, it's for the people? I want to find a born, you could see, I feel like with Pink it's like that. It's, and she's like, I can't wait to move to this house. I'm like, how? Is this your house? Because when you move back with your mother, it's a temporary thing because you're going through some financial what. Now you're the one that can't wait to move. Now remember, everybody is here, and I think everybody is processing in their heads what's going on here. Who are we buying the house for? Okay. I think is excited. Can't wait to move. It's like we are rich. We have landed. Ooh, I was like, yeah, hey. Anyway, you guys, I think the person that keeps going back to the affordability situation is Oloye. So because I think he's the one that has a family, like, there's Jen, there's his kids, and also he has said he wants to buy a house. So for him, it's very important for to know what is it that, how much are they going to have to pay each of them, so that maybe he can make the final decision on what's going to happen with the house. Now, I think the mother, after seeing the house, because initially she wasn't so excited about the house, but I think after seeing the house and now she could imagine herself, she's like, you know what, Zwai has a vision. And Uloiso just has to trust Zwai. I'm like, listen, the one person that they should not trust in this family is Zwai, especially when it comes to this house. I was like, it's a scam, okay? It's Candy's aunt's scam, exactly, I even feel like the whole thing of getting the show, of them doing the show, now I'm curious about how they're getting paid, because it looks like the person that is taking leadership in terms of the production of the show or even the concept of the show is Uzwai, because he was talking about if I was jealous of Louis, so he wouldn't even be part of the show, you know. So I'm just like wondering, hey, in even it's almost like I started feeling like he wants them to do the show. He wants them to go back to performing as Bala Brothers, but all of the money is going to go towards paying for this house. That's how he's going to force them to pay for the house. Because if he says that when they perform and all of that, they're not going to be paid, the money is going to go to the entity and the house belongs to the entity, then the entity will be paying for the house. Whether they like it or not, they're going to end up paying for that house. I was like, it's a scam. It's total scam. So you guys, listen. So the mother is also saying, good to know, Uloiso must just try Zoi has a vision, and the Pink wants to move in, and Uloiso is just like, why the rush? She's like, why are we rushing? Guys, I mean, we are in episode 7. The idea of the house came up in episode 3, but the way they're moving so fast is like, Upinki knows why. It's something that they have been planning for a long time. The others are trying to catch up with this idea of buying a house, but it's just a rush. It's like the English must be bought right now, you know. So that's what he was asking. Ujane on the other side is saying, I'm not supposed to be involved that much in the house, but she is involved because obviously Loiso cannot make a decision about this whole situation without speaking to his wife, because it's their finances that will be affected. So whether Jen likes it or not, she is going to have to be involved in the house. But I like the fact that she wasn't negative about it. She wasn't, even when they were viewing the house, she was like, this is a really nice house. I can see that it will need some work, but it's a nice house. And obviously, she would love for Mama to have the house, because I really do feel like Jen loves, you know, her mother-in-law. They get along. She loves her. She wants her to be comfortable. She wants her to be happy. Just the questions are on who's gonna pay and how much. But yeah, they don't. Our conversations are not straightforward, because I think if I was sitting at that table, I would want to. By the time I stand up and leave, I want to understand who is going to pay. What is the plan? What are the ideas that you are having? You are saying all of us are going to pay equally, but Pinky is not really making money, you know? And she's saying she's struggling right now even to pay for her child's school fees. Is she going to be able to afford that? Pelo was complaining about the fact that when they were doing the Bala brothers before, he wasn't getting what the other brothers were getting. I don't understand that though. Apparently he wasn't being paid the same as the brothers. He was getting less than the brothers. So is he going to afford that? And also Leandro Peleagabala and Pelo Nayo, you know, again Wagabala. Anyway, you guys, so that another thing that we got was them just talking about the good feedback that they got after they performed. Obviously, you guys, them going apart as the group was not because people didn't like the group. It wasn't because the group wasn't doing so well. It was internal issues that they had with each other that led to them, you know, going their separate ways when it comes to the group. So now that the group is back together, obviously people are happy that the Bala brothers are back together. People don't care about the politics. They just want them. They just want the music. Okay. Now, you guys, Uzwa and Oloiso talked about how the feedback was when it comes to their performance. And then they also have a sit down and they talk about this baby issue. Listen, I think they're going to have to learn that because they're doing a show, some things they have to explain to us. So because sometimes like there's an assumption that we understand this baby situation. Zwai had a baby and apparently told some family members but didn't tell Loiso. And I only got to understand that yesterday, because all along I've been wondering, why do you say with this baby issue? So that's how I understood it yesterday, that was why I had a baby, but told other family members and even told those family members to not tell Loiso. So Loiso is bothered by that. How do we not tell each other such things? If you're having a baby, how do you not tell me? Okay. And also her thing was, listen, even you've had certain celebrations and certain things happen in your life and you don't tell me. And Lois was like, but sometimes I feel like you're not that happy for me, especially when you are not involved in the achievement. That is when the jealousy thing came up, because it sounded like Uloiso is saying, when I am celebrating my achievements, it seems like you are not happy for me. So Uzwai was responding in the direct session and saying that if I was jealous of Loiso, we wouldn't do the Bala Brothers together. And in fact, we wouldn't even be doing the show. I wouldn't have invited him to do the show, okay, if I was jealous of him. Now, you guys, obviously it had to get to the point of him pointing out that Jen doesn't like him, which I don't even understand where it was coming in. But as I was saying, when Jen's mom passed away, they did reach out to Loiso and Jen, and they were told to just, and I wish that I could have got like Jen's response to that, because the last time that Jen spoke about her losing her mom, they were saying that the family didn't really come around to even check on them and help them out. They were helped by the church. So with Uzwai saying they did try to reach out, but Loiso and Jen were the ones that sort of pushed them away. Now I'm like, these are two different stories about the same situation. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys, Loiso is just like confused about the whole thing of Zoe saying Jen doesn't like him, because he's like, from what? What has Jen done that would make Zoe say that she doesn't like him? But he doesn't ask those questions directly to Zoe. I don't know. I feel like the communication here is very strange. Because I would have asked him, tell me one thing that Jen has done or said to you that you feel like this is an indication that she doesn't like you, so that we can resolve that, So they have a very weird way of communicating. And yes, you guys, so they just had that conversation. And what else? Yes, so they had that conversation. And then later on, you guys, they also had Zwei, Loiso, and Uchen had a meeting. So the reason that Zwei is upset with Jen and Loiso is because Ayanda, who is his baby mama, came to the funeral of Bab Jafta, because apparently Ayanda and Bab Jafta were close. Came to the funeral, and since Bebecha, she asked to sleep over at Jen's, and Jen was like, okay. Jen says the whole reason she knows Ayanda is because of Zwei. Zwei introduced Ayanda to them. So when Ayanda is approaching her and saying, listen, I'm coming, can I sleep at your house? She was like, okay. She didn't see any problem with that. Zwei is upset that they didn't ask him before they allowed Ayanda to sleep at their house. Like ridiculous stuff. I think Uzwai just wants to pick on Loiso and Jen. And I think, honestly, you guys, when your family doesn't like your partner like that and you want your relationship to work, I think for me, I would just spend less time with my family. Especially if it's not, like if your wife is not evil or something, okay, you feel like, and you want your relationship to work, because when your family picks on your partner like that, like now one day you're going to be like, I family me right, man, So I think it's not a good idea for Lois or Jen to be spending too much time, because they're always just trying to find something. Or Jen is always, Jen is always like, kind of a situation. So he was upset about that. Jen is like, listen, I wouldn't have called you because Velang for nail, it's not like we call each other all the time. So why would I now call you when Ayan is asking to sleep at my house? Because for me, she is like a family member. She is a family member because you introduced her to us. So a family member needs help. Yeah, she can sleep at my house. It's your baby mama, okay? But yeah, they decided to next time they will call him. So it's just ridiculous. Guys, I was ridiculous, man. I was ridiculous. I don't want to lie. So yeah, you guys, then they did have a scene where Uzwai was doing a presentation now on the whole idea of them having it's almost like he's saying, okay, they're going to have this entity. They're going to have a company, a holding company that has Bala Brothers, Bala Family, the show, Bala Voices, whatever. And then this company is also going to have a publishing, what. So everything, they will do everything themselves within the entity. So they will be shareholders. You know what I couldn't wait for? I couldn't wait for him to talk about, okay, so how much are they going to be shareholding in the shareholding? You know? I wouldn't be surprised if he's thinking that he's going to be like 80% shareholder, and then everybody else will be taking 5%, because that's just how ridiculous it sounds with this whole thing. That is when, you guys, I started feeling like Zoe basically wants to run a modern day slavery for his siblings, where his siblings are going to be working and working and working, and the money is going to go to this company, and then I guess it's going to pay for whatever it is that he wants to pay for from the company. Now remember, at the back of this whole thing, there's an issue of him stealing Pelo's song, which he didn't want to clarify. Pelo asked on the show, what happened to the song? Apparently, Pelo had a song and never released it or never gave permission for the song to be used. That song that they use on the show never gave permission. So when the show is playing, the song is there. And he's like, who released the song? Who signed release forms for the song? Because it's my song, but I never. And apparently he was on a live or something, or he did a video where he was talking about the fact that Zoe actually did steal his song. Now, this is a person that does things like that, now wants to get you guys in this whole thing, this whole entity. And he says that he wants to build a legacy. I'm like, yo, I go say late for the legacy. Hi guys, I don't want to lie. That whole thing, guys, just sounds like a scheme. You know, I think that if he said to his brothers, I want to buy my mom a house, and this is a house that I'm going to buy my mom, and you guys can decide if you want to help me, and I'm not going to force you. Whatever contribution that you can contribute to this house, then I'll do that, because at the end of the day, the title that is going to be in his name. Then the others can decide. One can decide, you know what, I'll finish the house for my mother, you know, or the other one can, whatever, but to try and force them into this thing. It's a scheme that he's trying to run. I was looking at that presentation. I was like, yeah, how are you scamming your own siblings? But he definitely is trying to scam them. You know, the way that he's presenting it, I was like, he can't tear off. He can't tear off. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you like it. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Am I overreacting? Am I overreacting? Because I feel like this is a scam. This is total scam. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before coming on, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in the Tanda.